Here's what's on today's lengthy Cowboys report, so make sure you watch all the way through. Some roster moves have been made. Injury news. It's a long injury report for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, I'll call it drama, but it's also maybe not that incorrect from his perspective. Ownership interference, which we've talked about before a little bit, and just more conversation on this Mike McCarthy offensive struggles. Now, the Cowboys have made at least one little grouping, I'll call it, of roster moves. Rashaan McKeon has been signed to the 53-man roster. Peyton Hendershot is going to go on IR because apparently the Hendershot ankle injury has not responded the way the Cowboys were hoping it was going to. And despite the fact that he's already missed 2 games, now he's going to IR. So he's going to be out for 4 more beyond this. So it's Ferguson, more run for Luke Schoonmaker, more Rashaan McKeon, as that's going to be your 3 tight end grouping there for the Dallas Cowboys. As part of this move, by freeing up a practice squad space, Rashaan Evans will take that spot. Now, he could still be a game day call-up for you this week because, remember, Leighton Vander Esch has not officially been put on IR, but will be put on IR at some point this week. It's not necessarily a have-to-do-it-right-now thing, just maybe more timing than anything. The hope, and I always get anxious when the Cowboys reporters say, the hope is he's back after 4 to 6 weeks or somewhere in that time frame. That scares me because that doesn't always end up coming true. That's the hope. Apparently, Vander Esch, by the way, also has a concussion as part of that injury he sustained, that neck strain. I would not be surprised if Malik Jefferson, whether it's via the practice squad call-up, which at minimum will happen, or if he gets called up to the game day active roster full-time, the 53, I should say, he's probably your next man up at the linebacker spot where you are very, very, very thin at the moment. Also set to make a return at some point soon is Rashaan Wright. He has been designated to return from IR and has 21-day practice window opened. So within that 21 days, he must be placed on the active roster or stay on IR for the remainder of the season. I wouldn't be shocked if he came back this week. I think the timeline for Wright's recovery, we're kind of past it already. It was timing and patience, all that good stuff right there. Because C.J. Goodwin, again, not officially, but will be placed on IR with his torn pectoral as well. So at that point, it'd be Gilmore, Bland, Lewis, Igbinoghene, Eric Scott. We'll see if he can even get active at some point soon. Israel Mukuamu, kind of a corner safety hybrid, and Rashaan Wright at the moment. Now, amid all the injuries, how would you grade this Dallas Cowboys roster right now? Just talent level, not performance, talent level. How would you grade it? A, B, C, D, or F? It is the pinned comment on this video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage. Head down there and let me know. Some other injury news I do want to get into here. First up is Kevontae Turpin. I don't think he's going to go to IR like I had previously feared. Mike McCarthy made it seem like he was closer than what the alleged high ankle sprain would normally indicate. So promising sign on that front. Elsewhere on a rather lengthy injury report that just dropped as we sit here filming this, Donovan Wilson expected to and did practice in full this Wednesday, so that's a good sign there. Rest days for Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jonathan Hankins, Stephon Gilmore. That makes sense. Marquise Bell and Tyler Biadasz were full with various injuries. Damone Clark, Neville Gallimore, both limited. But if you're limited on what amounts to Wednesday, I know it's Thursday today, but this is the Wednesday practice since you're playing on Monday Night Football. That leads to good signs there. Malik Hooker was a full participant. Tony Pollard was limited. Wanye Thomas did not practice with a hamstring injury. That is one worth monitoring because your safeties have not played well. Thomas has been one of your more surprising players this year. And if he misses time, then you're really banking on, hey, Donovan Wilson and Jaron Kearse have got to be much better than what they've been so far this season. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's you against the numbers that are battling thousands of other players, the pros, the sharks, etc. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the, fingers crossed, winnings roll in. They've got a vast section of sports and set types not offered anywhere else. You can do in-game projections. You can also do NFL and college football, NFL and MLB. I know producer Chris wants the Braves to start, looking a little bit better right now. My picks this week, more than Trevor Lawrence passing yards, at least one touchdown, just one touchdown minimum for Kenneth Walker, and more than Cooper Kupp receiving yards as well. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, that's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. All right, some rumors to get into here. CeeDee Lamb is frustrated. This is 4 stars. There's no way around it. This is absolutely the case for the Dallas Cowboys at this moment. Lamb was visibly frustrated during and after the 49ers game, and frankly, who am I to blame him from that perspective? This is an example of a player who is right to be upset with the way things have gone so far this year. This has not been the offense that I think he thought, that we thought it was going to be. Mike McCarthy was asked about this and said, I had a great visit with CeeDee. He said this the other day, of course. If he's not pissed off for not getting the ball, then I'm pissed off at him for not being pissed off. He's an impact player. Which begs the question, why are you not throwing him the football? We'll get to that in a little bit here. I have very little doubt, not publicly confirmed, but we can, connect the dots here. Lamb thought this offensive attack was going to continue to feed him the football, and like all receivers, they want the ball, especially to win games, and he thought it'd be a lot more downfield. This is what CeeDee Lamb said during training camp. Let's wind back the clock here, right? Dak's very aggressive, and the way he wants to win, that's everybody. And he's looking for the deep ball now. And man, as you see today, it's up there. So if you're not going to back up, this is a warning to everybody. If you're not going to back up, good luck. This has not been the offensive plan. You have not attacked the ball, pushed the ball downfield. I don't know where the disconnect was between what Lamb thought the offense was going to be like, what they wanted the offense to be like, and what's actually been put in place. But the aggressive stuff has not been a staple of the previous Mike McCarthy West Coast offenses, and it's not a staple this year, which we'll go more in depth to here in a little bit. But Lamb's numbers are down across the board. What'd you change? You changed the play caller. Isn't that the source of your issues here? Right? Bad weather against the Giants. Okay. You had, I think, your best offensive showing against the Jets, right? It's like in terms of moving the football, and you had some red zone issues, don't get me wrong, but 11 for 143, and now we can't get 5 catches in a single game. How does that make sense? How? Do you agree that CeeDee Lamb needs more targets? Y for yes, N for no. And you go, you're going to say, he's double-teamed. Other receivers are double-teamed, and teams are finding them ways to get the football. So, scheme it. Come on. Y for yes, N for no. This is a maybe controversial one, but is ownership giving too much input? Are they meddling a little bit, interfering too much? You'll never really be able to prove it beyond a doubt, but I do think this is the case. This is 3 stars for me here. And this is not the first time we've heard these types of claims from players or media members or social media, whatever. There's been claims for years that ownership gets involved. They want to focus the ball going to certain players. Michael Gallup starts off the year slow and now has as many targets as CeeDee Lamb does when the design of the offense is like, hey, it's quick read, so the first guy is normally the main read, and that's normally the guy getting the football. It's not like your quarterback's just ignoring 4 guys against the last guy. It's not ideal there. And I am most concerned by this comment. It ties into our CeeDee Lamb conversation, right? Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, 105 through the fan. You want to see CeeDee Lamb get the ball more? I don't know about that. What I want to see is the ball spread around to several wide receivers, tight ends. You sure about that, guys? I'm not saying don't throw it to him, but you make that comment after the ball gets spread around a lot. This is not a new theory. Cole Beasley was out there. Other players have been saying, hey, and it's ownership gets the ball who they want to get the ball to, It's been mentioned before by others. We've talked about it before on the show. Why is Gallup getting so many targets when he's not getting separation? He's still not. He's better than what he was last year, but he's still not the same guy that he was before his injury. And you can make a legitimate argument, claim, theory, whatever, that the front office is just trying to justify that. You're like, hey, you got to get the ball to Gallup. Oh, by the way, why is the ball not going to Brandon Cooks? The usage of Brandon Cooks and what he does in this offense from a route tree perspective is really bad. So ownership. What is your confidence level in the Dallas Cowboys ownership so far this year? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 and make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/Cowboys TV. Free videos every single day when you guys are subscribed. We've got videos multiple times per day. Videos, 2 times a day. It ends up being on average about 2 videos every day over the course of the month. So hit that sub button. Appreciate it, guys. Let's get to one of the more intriguing, controversial, definitely controversial. It's Dak and the Cowboys, right? Are the Cowboys and head coach Mike McCarthy scared of Dak Prescott throwing interceptions? Is that the reason for the offensive change and what they've tried to adjust so far? I will give this 2 stars. At minimum, I think there is some truth to this. I don't know if it is the main reason, but here are the reality conversations we need to have on this front. The Cowboys offense is not as aggressive as it's been in the past. Now, the claim, my buddy Dalton Miller has thrown this out there, Stephen Reeves, the others, has been the offense has stopped attacking because they don't want to have turnovers. And Mike's kind of said that too. He wants to protect the football, right? But is that reason because of Dak? Is it because of Mike McCarthy? Or is it some combination of both? And it probably is both. But where does that balance lie? I've got a lot of thoughts on my big issues with this offense that we're about to get into. But who do you blame more? DP for Dak Prescott, MM for Mike McCarthy. What I have here are a bunch of numbers, so bear with me. It's going to be a lot of numbers on screen. I think it'll all be pretty well explained. If not, you can yell at me in the comments. The Cowboys' passing offense this year, based on passing depth in the 2023 season, reflects like this. This is all per PFF's charting data. 2.5% deep in the middle of the field. 8.1 in the middle of the field. 21.9 in the short middle. Total middle of the field attacking, 32.5%. Your total intermediate throws, 10 to 9 yards, is 19.4. So what we're going to do is compare this to some recent years from Dak Prescott and some recent years from the Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers-led teams. It is a substantial difference from what this Cowboys offense used to do. Deep center is down 2% compared to 2022. Intermediate center is down 2.5%. Short center is down about 8%. The total results is you're down over 12% attacking the middle of the field. The intermediate throws are down 4%, right? The 2021 results are a little bit less severe, but also still noteworthy, 3.9. Everything's down, right? You're not attacking the deep center, the middle center, the short center, and you're not attacking that middle of the field range. It's even worse, by the way, in that 2019 version of the offense. 3.7, 11.2, 26.3, 41.2, 24.8. You're talking somewhere between, in the best case, 5% drop-offs to 10% drop-offs. That is a significant, by the way, this does not include passes behind the line of scrimmage. That is not included in these conversations. That's a clear change. But do you know what it looks a lot like? The middle ground between what the Packers and Rodgers used to do. Deep center, it's a little bit further down, little bit more in the intermediate center, and a little bit more in the short center. The total center numbers from Rodgers 2018, the year that Mike McCarthy got fired, by the way. Little bit more center, little bit more medium, still below what Dak was doing previously. 2017, all right? Deep center's a little bit closer, but again, your total center and your total medium is getting, it's a little bit more compact. And if you look at 2016, the total center and the total medium 1% difference in favor of the Cowboys attacking the middle of the field more, and 1.5% less attacking the middle of the field. This is Rodgers and McCarthy against Dak and McCarthy. This is the offense that Mike McCarthy wants to run. The Texas Coast doesn't exist. It was a lie. It was a fun meme, a fun name. It is the Mike McCarthy West Coast offense. And as a result, this offense has been spayed and neutered. What Mike McCarthy has done in an effort to try to get rid of the interceptions, which is a problem that, as you know, a great piece from Stephen Reed this week on the Ringer, that, and we've said for months now, that problem was going to sort itself out on its own because Dak has never been a turnover-prone quarterback in his career. But what they've done is taken away the middle of the field throws and the best parts of this offense. That was feeding CeeDee Lamb and attacking the middle of the field. Great notes here. Dak Prescott was 4th among passers on those kind of deep in routes, right? The deep crossing, the dig routes, the backside digs, deep crossers, all that stuff. He was 4th in the NFL in EPA per play last year. The Cowboys have attempted 1 pass this season on those plays. They've totally gotten rid of it, and it was the best part of the offense. This offense under Mike McCarthy is static. There's no more pre-snap motion. They've gotten rid of it. It's stale. It's the same offense that led to Mike getting canned in Green Bay. It's rigid because everything has to be timed up perfectly in a timing-based offense, and your routes aren't being run at the proper depths, and that's by design, by the way. And if the timing gets off a little bit, you don't have the fantastic elite arm strength to overcome it in your quarterback. Mike McCarthy has literally made this into a dink and Dak offense. That's been a joke for years. It was never accurate. Now it is. It's literally what this offense has become. The Cowboys offense is the Star Wars sequels. It's episode 9 right now. Episode 8, what was Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, it's Ryan Johnson. Not everyone liked it. The critics loved it. The film nerds loved it. It had some flaws. It needed to be improved upon. I think we would all agree with that. I actually enjoyed episode 8, by the way. I still like Dak, although he's not playing very well this year. Episode 9 has been a disaster. You've course-corrected because didn't like the end result. You listened too much to the noise of people saying, oh, interceptions and blah, blah, blah. And it's a dumpster fire. It doesn't work right now. This quarterback and this head coach and this play caller, if things don't change, this marriage is not going to last. And one of them, when we get to January, February, well, January at this rate, one of them is going to have to go.